Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today, and joining us for this elite discussion that we're going to have, first of all, in studios is cricket commentator, cricket expert, also a broadcaster and presenter, K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, Asif. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm very well, thank you.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by a cricket commentator, a very prominent voice on Radio Pakistan, and also you see him on various media platforms as well. Cricket expert too, Kashif Shabir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah, all well. Thank you.
Great to have you. We've also been joined by a senior commentator, one of the first female voice when you talk about cricket commentary, and also a senior cricket expert, somebody who will be analysing the game of cricket with us today, Leena Moin Aziz. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Ahmed and everyone, and I hope you guys are well.
Absolutely, great to have you on the show as well. Now let's take a look at what we're going to be discussing. First of all, Pakistan are all ready, all set for their campaign against Sri Lanka. 2 test match series that they will be playing. Intense practice is underway of this squad. An intra-squad scenario-based practice match was also being played. We saw Babar Azam in action, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Sarfaraz Ahmed, Imamul Haq. All of these players who you can name and see have been in action in extensive training, and it's good to see that these guys after a break are now gelling back together, because this is a very important series. This is a start to the new cycle of the ICC World Test Championship. So definitely a series in Sri Lanka is going to be very tough, and Pakistan wants to start it on a very positive note, I think. So we will be discussing about that in detail, and also the fact that what combination should Pakistan go with when they play against Sri Lanka. So that is also something that we're discussing in detail. Also, then of course we move on to the Ashes in detail as well, and the third test match is something that will probably set the tone. Australia are already 2-0 up in the series. If England make a comeback, it will be probably one of the most remarkable comebacks in test history, not alone the Ashes. So to win from here is definitely going to be something special, but what Ben Stokes did in that heroic test match, although England didn't win, was no less than legendary. So I think we'll be talking about that, but news from English squad is that Ollie Pope is out due to a shoulder injury. That would be one replacement. We also might be seeing Mark Wood coming to the side as well. Only time will tell whether they're ready to drop another bowler, but you don't know that yet, because England are going to be announcing their playing 11, and the conditions as well are something that need to be kept into perspective. After that, we move on to the ICC World Cup qualifiers, where Zimbabwe have been knocked out. But the match between Netherlands and Scotland will now tell us who's going to qualify for this World Cup. Whoever does, whether it's Scotland, whether it's Netherlands, deserves it all, because Sri Lanka is already qualified. The way Scotland beat the Zimbabwe team, it was magical to see from their perspective. But for Zimbabwe, it should have been a walk in the park. We were just discussing this before the show, that all you needed to do was play your quota of 50 overs and you would have chased the target of 235 runs. But then again, temperament was something that was not on their side. Especially, I think, after the wicket of Sikandar Raza, things changed. He should have kept his head into the game and made sure that, you know, once you're a star player, you're a campaigner, that, you know, the wicket is something that you need to put a price on as well. And the opposition realized that Sikandar is that threat. So he should have taken them over the park, but didn't happen. So I think we'll talk about that in detail as well. Now we'll start the discussion. And of course, Asif, first of all, Pakistan is going to Sri Lanka. There was a scenario-based practice match between the side as well. So far, we saw all the big names practicing. What do you have to say?
Right before the Asia Cup and the World Cup, if Pakistan is traveling to Sri Lanka for the test series, really important for the players, you know, that because almost the players who play in the white ball cricket, they are representing Pakistan in the test series. It's really important to those players to gain some momentum, confidence, because you know that when you're playing 5-day cricket and when you go to the one-day cricket after playing that test cricket, you understand that how you'd have to show your confidence, how you have to show your commitment towards the game. It's really important. So the players like Babar Azam, Rizwan, and Imamul Haq, all of them, they are really important and key players for Pakistan. On the other side, Shaheen Shah Afridi, after bowling so nicely in the Vitality Blast, you know that he has made a world record there, 4 wickets in first over. I think that was amazing. Shaheen Shah Afridi, of course, and then we should talk about that what could be the playing 11 for Pakistan. I think that if we see that either you're going with two spinners, or you're just going with the one spinner? Because Abrar is there, Noman is there. I must say that the Sri Lankans, they're really good against the spinners. But Abrar could be a trump card because, the way he bowled against England here in Pakistan, and people are talking about, and because I have watched him in the domestic cricket, Mamlina will talk about him because she was in the commentary when Abrar was bowling here in the domestic cricket. I think Abrar would be trump card for Pakistan because I have spoken to him a couple of weeks back. Then he said that I'm working on my googly, on my wrong one, each and everything so perfectly. So I think this series is really important for Pakistan in the terms of upcoming Asia Cup and World Cup.
Kashif, we have to agree that the focus should be the World Test Championship now for Pakistan, because that is one area where we need improvement, and this is a start to that cycle, so obviously becomes a very important series.
I think, yes, there's no doubt about it that this is a very important series for Pakistan, but you have to keep in mind the pitches of Sri Lanka. I think the pitch is going to favor the Sri Lankan bowlers, especially the spinners, and that is one department where Pakistan is quite weak because we don't have prominent spinners available in the squad. Yes, we do have a very good baseline attack comprising of Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah, but I think the main focus of Pakistan would be on the batting side because we need to have good batters. We need to have a very consolidated middle order batting lineup for Pakistan. I'm sure Abdullah Shafiq and Imamul Haq will play a very key role for Pakistan, because if they are able to give a good start for Pakistan, that can be a crucial point for the later order batsmen to come in. Now, the major point is that Pakistan has to decide between Rizwan and Sarfaraz, who is going to be keeping the wickets. One, secondly, will both be participating in the team? Will both be comprising the first 11 for Pakistan or not? We've got the options of Saud Shakil, we've got Huraira, Salman Agha. So I think the combination is going to be very key for Pakistan. And unfortunately, we don't have proper management available in Pakistan. We all have heard that our main management, the bowling coach, Morni Mokel, has not been received the visa for Pakistan. He is not with the team. So I think that is going to be critical. That is going to be crucial for Pakistan. So the main point is the Pakistan has to gel together. One. Secondly, Babar Azam has to play a key role, not only for the team, but for the management as well. So I think if Pakistan is able to cope up with all these key roles, Pakistan has a positive edge and an upper hand on the Sri Lankan team.
They should, I think. That's always been the case. But Lina, I think the bigger part of the argument has always been that we like to say we're a side that fancy playing spin. But unfortunately, it's been the other case. Even our best of batters have struggled against spin, if you talk about this recent lot. And in Sri Lanka, with the quality of spinners they always have, we tend to be bogged down, and that run rate and everything in between, the shot selection becomes a tragic taboo for us.
Absolutely. I mean, the Sri Lankan wickets, Ahmed, they're not easy to face spin on, and as we all know, that Sri Lanka's got a plenty of good spinners. Jayasurya, he troubled us a lot in the previous series. Then they've got Theekshana and a lot of other spinners who can cause Pakistan a lot of problems. So I'm sure the practice that the Pakistan team currently is doing is keeping all that in mind. They've got to face a left-arm spinner, a mystery spinner, a leggy. So all kinds of spinners and all kinds of quality spinners. We just saw recently in the qualifiers, the Sri Lankan spinners are bowling beautifully. So that is one aspect. And earlier in the show, you guys were discussing about the wicket keeper. I will play Sarfaraz only as a batsman. Let's be honest about it. I would not. I'm a Sarfaraz fan, but I would not play him as a wicket keeper because we know that his wicket keeping is not the same what it used to be a few years ago. He will miss occasional stumping or drop a catch or be caught snoozing. So I will play Rizwan as the keeper and then play Sarfaraz as a middle order batsman. We've seen in the Ashes that Bairstow's wicket keeping hasn't been up to the mark, and that has really cost England more than anything else. So I was a big I was in big time favor of playing Folks, who's a genuine wicket keeper. So for Pakistan, I would like them to play Rizwan and keep wickets. And then if you want to play Sarfaraz, play him, by all means, play him in the middle order. And then coming back to spinners, of course, it's not going to be easy. In last series also, it was a brilliant innings courtesy Abdullah Shafiq, which won us that match. It was a miracle match to win, chasing over 300, but he managed it. So we've got to take care of all that, because see, now all these matches are part of the cricket championship. So if we lose or draw the series, it just cost us. Drawing the series in West Indies last time around in the last cycle cost us. Drawing the series in Sri Lanka cost us. So we got to think about all this and then move forward.
Well, the approach, Asif, really needs to be calculated, because no matter selection is the most important part of it. But then I think whoever is playing needs to have that temperament and realize that the approach needs to be very, very calculated on these Sri Lankan wickets. It won't be that you can just go around and smash the bowlers all over the park. You need determination and, establish your writ by staying at the crease.
Well, that is what I was saying earlier, that you require some, commitment, you require some confidence. And of course, that when you're playing 5-day cricket, it gives you a lot. And as you said that, see that when we're going to play Asia Cup and World Cup, you require some of the players like Babar Azam, Rizwan, Imam, and of course Fakhar Zaman is not there, but still that, that all of these players are really, really important. Their fitness, their form, each and everything. I want to discuss two things. One, which Kashif said earlier, that we do not have good spinners. It's a really, really important point that, that you're sending Noman and then Abrar, and even then if you're not satisfied, then what are the reasons and why Pakistan is not producing quality off spinners? See, Ahmed, you've been talking about this for a long time, and everyone is talking about this, but no solution from Pakistan Cricket Board. I think that Ma'am Leena could answer it in a better way, because she's observing domestic cricket for a long time. And the second thing which Ma'am Leena has discussed, and that is the Sarfaraz role as a batter, not as a wicket keeper. Of course, that Rizwan is the best keeper so far.
First choice wicket keeper.
Yeah, the first choice. So you, in Test cricket, of course, and even in ODI, you would go with the specialist wicket keeper. This is what legendary wicketkeeper Rashid Latif always talk about. So I think that these are two really important points. Yes, Sarfaraz should be in the side as a middle order batter. The way he played against New Zealand, I think phenomenal. And spin bowling department, what are the reasons? It should be discussed in our show.
Kashif, this spin problem that Pakistan has now, it's been there for quite some time. I think after the departure of Saeed Ajmal, Abdur Rahman and then Zulfikar Babar, to an extent, Pakistan didn't look primarily to develop a red ball spinner. They had the luxury of Yasir Shah, but then inconsistency came up. He was figured out. We still have this problem, whether it's domestic cricket or not. Are we focused on that element for a red ball spinner as a nation?
Unfortunately, we are not. For a long time, I have been advocating on the fact that Pakistan need to focus on the domestic circuit, because that is the way you can produce the players for the red ball and for the white ball as well. But that is your nursery. You need to work on the nursery. You need to see what kind of product you are producing from your domestic circuit, and what are the factors that are affecting the domestic circuit. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, the whole contribution is coming from PSL. We are choosing players from PSL for both the one days, the T20s, and for the Test cricket. Now you need to revise your strategy. Just take an example of Saud Shakil. Saud Shakil has been a product of domestic cricket, Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, and see how he is performing with the red ball. And on contrast, you check with Dhani. You extracted Dhani from PSL, selected him for the red ball, and he has not been able to perform in the red ball because he was the product of the white ball. So you need to change the focus. You need to change your strategy. What is the strategy first? Secondly, we were talking about Sarfaraz and Rizwan. Unfortunately, Sarfaraz is not a good fielder. If you are playing Sarfaraz as a fielder, then you need to hide him on the field because he's going to miss many chances. But if you're going to keep him as a wicket keeper, there again he's going to create that problem. So it's a jinx for the management whether he should be playing as a wicket keeper or as a fielder. So management need to decide about it. Now, in my opinion, our focus should primarily be on the batting side, because in Sri Lanka we need to have good batters, we need to have good score on the board. Only then you can create that pressure on the Sri Lankan side. But having said that, I think Pakistani pace attack is far better as compared to the Sri Lankans. And in Sri Lanka,
Right. We'll come back to that right after this short break. Welcome back, and now we'll discuss the Ashes because it's all about the third test match. England have announced their playing 11. 3 omissions have been made where we see Josh Tongue, Ollie Pope and Jimmy Anderson will not be part of this third test match for the English side, and replacing them, Moeen Ali comes back into the side along with Mark Wood, and a surprise inclusion but something I wanted since day one, Chris Woakes also comes back to this English side. And we also gauged a picture of what the pitch is going to be like, and Asif, if I'm not wrong, it was a green belter for all those fast bowlers.
Well, amazingly, when you see the playing 11, then there is no James Anderson on that kind of green pitch. Honestly, that after seeing that pitch, now I'm curious that why they haven't given the chance to James Anderson. But the good thing is that Chris Woakes and Mark Wood, as Kashif discussing right before that, I think Mark Wood, with sheer pace, I think he could create an impact against Australia. Rest, I think, once again, you won't ask me who is Australia. I'm telling you right now.
Well, the answer to my question, who is Australia, was given to me by Alex Carey, courtesy of that run out. And it also, that day I figured out, if you don't know who is Australia, it's okay. But what you need to know is always stand in your crease. Do not leave your crease, whatever happens.
Especially when you're playing against Australia. No more courtesy, no more sportsman spirit.
But very unfortunate.
I know it is, Kashif, but then again, if you look at this test match, I'm pretty sure Australia is going to try to seal the Ashes over there. But regarding these omissions and inclusions, you like the English squad? Do you think they've got something now to make a comeback?
Yeah, to some extent it is a good squad, but I'm still surprised why Tongue is not playing instead of Ollie Robinson. I think it should have been Tongue. Tongue should have stayed in the team. But the weak link of England has always been their bowling side. But now with the inclusion of Woakes and Wood, I think they have strengthened their bowling side. And if they get a good support from the batting side, it is going to be a very competitive English side. But making a comeback against Australia on this kind of a wicket, a very, very difficult task for England. But England has been on the blast because of their baseball cricket strategy. And I think it is a high time for Ben Stokes and the squad to make a comeback. The most favourable player or the reliance of England would be on Joe Root. How well Joe Root can stabilize their team, how well he can stay on the wicket, because his staying on the wicket is very crucial for England. So if the England can post a good total on the board and the bowling can support them, it is going to be a good match.
Definitely it will be. Lina, what would you like to say about not playing Jimmy Anderson now? I understand that was much on the cards, but I like the fact that Chris Woakes finally comes back to the side, but also Mark Wood and Moeen Ali. That means that England is going to look to strengthen not just their bowling, but their batting as well at the same time.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big Anderson fan, but in the first 2 matches, we saw that his pace has gone down also. He's not himself. He's not swinging the ball that we're used to seeing him doing, the way he can, bother the batsman with that swing. So it's a good move. I am also like Kashif. I am surprised that they're not playing Tung, who was one of their best bowlers in the last test. So I would have also gone with Tung still in the side and maybe Robinson out. But maybe there's a niggle. Maybe he's suffering from something. But the changes they've made are very good. I like they've got some pace now. Vokson also bowled 88, 90 miles per hour, and of course we know that Wood has got pace, which goes up to 95. So these are excellent changes. Moeen Ali, the off spinner, coming back. How England can? The next thing is how can England win? See, if Roger Federer and Nadal can come back from being 2 sets down many times, and Djokovic many times, and then go on to win the match, the next 3 sets, so can England. Now, what is going to fuel them? That is interesting. I think that adrenaline push and the anger, the Bairstow incident, the lack of sportsman spirit by by Australia, these factors are going to push the English side. They've got the right bowlers now. They've got some pace also in the new bowlers. They can bowl up to 90 miles and over. So they got that going. The batting is a little strengthened because both Wood and Wokes can bat well. We can't forget the Joss Butler Wokes partnership, which let us down the last time, and we lost a match which we should have won. So their batting will now be deeper. The bowlers are good. They can bowl a little bit of pace. Leeds pitch has always got some grass. If you bowl that channel, bowl a little fuller, get the ball to swing, give it that, bowl it in that corridor of uncertainty, you can get the batsman in a lot of trouble. Here I feel the batsman defense has got to be good. Both
Absolutely.
the English batsmen and the Australians got to have a good defense against the moving ball. So for me, I can't wait I wish it was Thursday today, really. Because what conspired in the last test match, the incident, the booing, it has just fueled me also,
No,
So I can't
definitely
wait,
it
and I
has. But
think
Lena,
England's
Lena,
got
thank
the
you
right
very much for joining us. Kashif Shabir and K. Asif, thank you very much to you as well. One thing is for sure that this will be a very high intensity test match regarding everything that has happened in the second one. And we understand the way things are going, whether it's booing from the crowd, the incident in the long ballroom of Lords with the MCC members and the Australian team involved, or whether it's Alex Carey or that iconic handshake by Johnny Bairstow to Pat Cummins after the match. Everything about it, it's going to be very interesting. But then again, like we have all said, it will be one of the most remarkable comebacks that we have seen. So probably we'll leave it at that. Now, before we go, we've got a very special birthday wish to send out as well. A lot of you always have been commenting on the show and do give us your elite feedback as well. So first of all, thank you very much to you on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Stay connected to the show and you can write to us what you think about the Ashes as well. And of course, like I said before, we go with a very special birthday wish. Shazeen has got her birthday today, so a very happy birthday to you. We hope that you have a blast, a great day ahead and many more years of success and joy to come. Enjoy your day from the entire team of Sports Extra. And that wraps it up from me and the entire team. It will be goodbye for now, but when we of course discuss it tomorrow, we will know who is Australia and who is the Ashes. So stay tuned to the show tomorrow as well. Goodbye.